good morning, everyone. I'm Madison Nosek here in the KXAN live studio. And as we are about to get into the 4th of July weekend, a lot of you are either going to be traveling or headed to the lake maybe. And while we want you to have fun this weekend, we really want you to stay safe. Recently, we aired a special called The Wake that really gives an in-depth look at what goes on behind the scenes of keeping you safe on the water. And here joining me today is the project's producer and director, Eric Henriksen. So, Eric, welcome. Thanks for joining me here today.
Hey, Madison. Thank you for having me.
So, I guess want to start off, in general question, what is The Wake? In your own words, how would you describe it, and what is it?
So, Tom Miller and I, KXAN News Today anchor Tom Miller and I, a few months ago, we kind of started looking at some of the issues around Lake Travis, and we noticed a large number of deaths had occurred in the lake over the last 10 years. We eventually found out it was 61 deaths since 2010. People had died in this lake. We're like, what's special about this lake? What's causing this large number of deaths, these dangerous conditions to occur in the lake? So we just spent almost 4 months just digging in, asking everybody we could, trying to find out as much information we could about it. So we put together it's an hour long special. It is long. We went as long as we possibly could for this. But just kind of digging in, we found that 61 people had died since 2010, and at least 10 of those bodies of the people who died were never recovered. And 2021 was the worst year on record. Those are just some of the numbers, but we really talked to families of victims, people who passed away in the lake, figuring out what their stories were. A lot of these people were people just out swimming. They were just out having a good day on the lake, and things took a turn. There was most of them, I think people would think it's alcohol related. It isn't always alcohol related. It isn't always a storm or something very obvious. Sometimes people were just out swimming and they ran out of energy, or I don't know, something happened to them. So we're really trying to figure out what happened to them and hear those stories, and then figure out how first responders, right there you're looking at Austin Police Department working with Travis County EMS, and they're helping people on Lake Austin. But on Lake Travis, it's Travis County Sheriff's Office, it's the Texas Game Wardens out there trying to recover people, help people out, keep people safe on the lake. And Lake Travis also has a ton of people on it. There's party barges, there's party boats, there's private boaters who are zipping around this lake, having a good time to try and have a good day on the lake. And especially ahead of the 4th of July weekend, it's time to think about those things. Like, what are you doing when you're out on that lake? And what steps can you take to be safer?
Yeah, on that topic, I guess, so what should people be thinking about lake safety-wise this weekend?
So Lake Travis is a really interesting lake. It wasn't always built as a lake. It was built as a reservoir, and recreation was taken into the plan as they were developing the lake, as they were building the lake. When they built Mansfield Dam in the 30s and 40s, and the lake actually formed, a lot of the farmland that was there is still underwater. So what that means is you have pecan orchards with trees jutting out of the water. You have the old concrete plant they used to build the dam that's still underwater. That right there is Starnes Island you're looking at. That's just a hill that just now is an island. It was a hill back before there was a lake, before there was just a canyon running through there, and the Colorado River was running through, and now it's become a full-on island unto itself. One thing you really think about is we call them the sometimes islands. These are parts of the landscape that are not, because it was a canyon, you have parts that kind of go up and down, and as the lake level drops, like it is right now, it's really, really low right now, those sometimes islands are coming up. And some of the channels people use on their boats to pass through this lake, those channels are narrower than they usually are. That's Devil's Cove, where a lot of people go and party at. There's a lot of party boats out there. You can see hundreds, thousands of boats, thousands of people out there just swimming around, drinking, having a great time. Luckily, the Sheriff's Office and Game Wardens do kind of patrol that area to keep people safe. There's just a lot of people out there. But right now, especially with those low lake levels, people need to look out for those obstacles I mentioned. The trees, the islands popping up, all these things that as you're moving through the lake, you may not know about. Also, because it was originally a canyon, the lake has big drop-offs. You could be walking and you're in 10 feet of water, and all of a sudden you're in 100 feet of water, and you just fall. So you have to be aware of these things when you head to the lake. Keep in mind that the landscape isn't a smooth lake. It's the lake levels change. It's not like Lake Austin, which is a constant level lake. That water is always kept at one level. Lake Travis fluctuates, and because of that fluctuation, you have different obstacles that pop up. And some of those are up right now.
Kind of bouncing off of what you were just saying, I guess where are some of like the biggest concerns that we're going to could potentially be running into this weekend, just in general, I guess, out on the lakes?
So the two places we mentioned, Devil's Cove and Starnes Island, they're kind of in the north. I've got to do math. I'm thinking map in my head. They're about northeast, the northeast section of the lake. If you're kind of entering through the Mansfield Dam area, think of it that way. Starnes Island, a lot of the party barges, these are large party boats full of dozens of people right there.
Right
you see them
here.
on the
Got
screen.
those
Yeah,
for you right on
tons
the
of
screen.
people. Oh, you're ready for it. I like it.
Yeah.
Tons of people are on these boats and they're partying and they're kind of docked on that island. The other place is Devil's Cove. And you have people drinking, you have people kind of just having a good time, but incidents do pop up. And especially this weekend. On the holiday weekends, that's when a lot of bachelor and bachelorette parties are on the lake. And you're going to have a lot more of those bachelor and bachelorette parties out there. A lot of crowds this weekend, a lot of crowds on the 4th itself. People probably launching fireworks, even though they're not supposed to because of our restrictions here, wildfire restrictions here. But they will be doing those things. So you can expect to see a lot of people out there, especially in those two islands, those two areas, Devil's Cove, where those boats dock, and the party barges head to Starnes Island. Yeah. And you can also, even if you're not on a barge, you can head over to Starnes Island. And, I mean,
it's easy access, definitely is.
We filmed this by going around and doing just that, you know, and not a party barge. So.
Like the last 2 weekends in a row, I was telling you this before, but just for fun, I coincidentally didn't even really, we knew we were going to do this, but we didn't really have it set in stone. And I was out there, and you're like, just everything you guys have been saying, I mean, watching this, everything, I mean, it's true. There's really no regulation. You could be out there just not being patrolled at all. Like, you could not have rented a boat and just be out on your own, and you're really just watching out for yourself. And you have to be careful. I mean, I know there's people out there.
There are people out there, but yeah, you do. I mean, you have to think of, you're not constantly being watched.
You have to be in control of your own party.
And so you have to act responsibly. You can't overdrink. You can't drink and drive a boat. You're not supposed to. I know people do. But you're not supposed to do that. That's just as illegal as drinking and then driving a car. Yeah, you should be paying attention. If you're aware, I think if you're wearing like a life vest and you're out there and you're having a couple drinks, that's probably fine. That was one thing we got recommended to us a bunch, is just wear a life vest when you're out on the lake. It's important. Just, I know it seems obvious, but
it's
not obvious. People don't always do it.
Retold, and it's helpful to hear it.
I mean, I've been on boats. I probably shouldn't throw myself under the bus, but I've been on boats and not wearing a life vest the whole time. But then I did this story and I have a life vest on the whole time. It changes your perspective.
But it definitely does change your perspective 100%. Like, even we were talking earlier, like I said, and it really makes you think about things that maybe you wouldn't have before.
True,
you
very
didn't
true.
know what happens behind the scenes. But just switching topics a little bit. Most Lake Travis public boat ramps are closed. So where are people going to head instead?
So Mansfield Dam is the public boat ramp that's usually open, and it has like the longest drop to the water. So it's usually open, but it's actually closed starting today. The only one that's currently open, I wrote this down, is it's a Tournament Point boat ramp, and it's at Pace Bend Park. It's a little further northwest on the lake. But on KXAN.com, we have a map of all the boat ramps that are available on all the Highland Lakes, not just Lake Travis, which is only down to one again, but also Lake Austin and Lake LBJ, all the other ones. A lot of people probably be heading to Lake Austin, especially the fireworks show happening this weekend. One thing we talked about in the wake is APD and EMS are doing a new pilot program where EMS is on the boat or with APD. So if there's an emergency on the lake, they're quicker to respond to that emergency. You don't have to wait for them to call the ambulance to get down there, then get on a boat than to get to you. EMS is right there. You see, this is the practice run they were doing where they were testing how to pull people out. And you have an APD officer and you have an EMS official working together to kind of get people up safer. And I think so far they've told us it's been very effective. They've had a number of calls at the time, including people just living on the lake, on Lake Austin. And so they're hoping to, if this program works, to expand it to Lake Travis. But it's kind of, they've tested out here and then kind of build up as they go. But if you're on Lake Austin this week, you can expect to probably see EMS, APD moving around. And that's a good thing. If there's an emergency, I'd rather have them closer than not close enough.
No, 100%. What safety tips do you think that you specifically took away from this after doing the project?
Let me tell you, life vests. We talked to the dive captain with Travis County Sheriff's Office, and then one thing he kind of pointed out was every body they've recovered, not all of them have been without a life vest. They've never recovered anybody who's wearing a life vest. So if you're just wearing a life vest, you're so much safer on the water. Even when you don't think you need to wear one, you probably should. All children are supposed to wear one. That's the law. I think it's under 18 you're supposed to wear one at full time, all times when you're on the boat. We rode around with the Texas Game Wardens. That was one thing they checked. They made sure they had enough life vests for everybody and that children were wearing life vests the entire time. They did 2 quick checks on that. So if you're an adult, you don't have to wear one full time. If you get in the water, I would suggest just popping one on. Even if you think you're the best swimmer, people we talked to, they said they were amazing swimmers and they still had issues. So if you're in the water, just wear a life vest. Even if you don't have a life vest, the noodles, the pool noodles.
Just
something.
to
You
keep
need
you
something.
floating.
The only downside is if you're using like a pool noodle or one of the lily pads that people lay out. If something happens, if you get knocked unconscious, if you hit your head or you're drinking or something, you can't keep yourself up, where a life vest can obviously keep you up. So it's considerably safer.
Flotation devices, everyone. Have
Flotation
something.
devices, but aim for life vest if you're in the lake. That's just the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Any last minute?
Yeah, let me promote.
Tips? Well, I was going to say, where
I'm
can
gonna let you
people go to
promote.
find
Wait,
this
tips?
after?
Okay.
Any last minute comments, things you have for anyone watching you want to share with the viewers?
The other one, don't forget, drinking while driving a boat is just as illegal as driving a car, and you can get pulled over and you can get arrested.
Please don't.
So don't do that. Act responsibly. The rule applies on the water just as much as on land, and it's just as dangerous on the water as on land. So
everyone wants to have a fun weekend.
Everyone wants to have a fun weekend.
Make sure you're helping, not hindering that.
There you go. Exactly.
Yes. So now, where can people go to find
now I get to tell you where to find the special.
Promote.
There'll be the full thing, the full hour-long special, and we also have it broken down to little parts. KXAN.com/thewake. It is on our main page right now. If you just go to KXAN.com, it's right there at the bottom, right beneath the headlines. Easy to find. Also, it will be re-airing on July 4th at 4:30, so you can watch it there. And that's a shorter version, a little half hour. We'll give you a little present of a half-hour version of it. So yeah, I like to make it easier to view as best as possible, and I think it's really good. I'm really happy with the work we did. I'm really proud of it. Tom and I both did I hate to pat myself on the back, but it's really good. I think we learned a lot, and we got a lot of information out there, and we told a lot of stories of people who don't get their stories told often enough, and so I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good special.
I think so too.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the work we did.
I'm proud of you guys too, because they actually let me come out with him a couple of times, and it was so eye-opening. I have so many words to describe, but I also am just very happy and very proud of you guys for the work you've done. And I think it's necessary work that needs to be done. People need to know this stuff. So
one thing I think about is there's a lot of people who live in Austin who lived here decades, right? But we have so many new people, and they're coming out to our lakes, and they just don't have access to this information. I moved here 7 years ago, and I'm still learning things about our lakes that I didn't know about. So I think putting this information that you may think is common knowledge out there, and you'll go, oh, I didn't know there was a concrete plant. There's a concrete plant under the lake. There's like a construction site. There's farms. There's
all
barns,
sorts
pieces
of stuff
barns,
under there.
boats. There's a lot of sunken boats, sunken cars. We talked to a diver who recovers these things, and he just explained all the cool things you can find under the lake.
Isn't there some building materials from the dam as well that they just left down there?
There's just chunks of the construction site that are just down there. And the stuff, they removed as much as they could back in the day, but they couldn't remove everything. There's some things that they had to weld into the ground. There's like a cable, I think, that's like still stretched in there. So there's a lot of cool stuff down there. But it's also stuff that can be dangerous if you don't know it's down there. So better be careful with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Of course,
I'm so glad I got to have you.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I know.
I know.
I know it was fun. I had so much fun with you. I'm glad you got to come. I'm glad you got to talk to everybody. And yeah, go check out The Wake. Like you said, it's on our website if you want to head on over to KXAN.com. And once again, I'm Madison Nosek here on KXAN Live. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
That was fun.